Again, welcome as we continue this journey towards kindness through wellness. In this session, we'll play with bridge, and that'll help us to utilize core strength as well as giving us an opportunity for a warm up or cool down for our practice. So today we get to lie down. So I'll ask you to find your way to your mat, laying flat on your back with the knees bent and the feet on the floor. We'll bend the knees and bring the feet as close towards the hips as we can. And pay attention here to how your body feels against the floor. Do you have areas that are heavier or lighter? Maybe some areas that aren't making contact at all. The lower back, for example, depending on how defined or pronounced that arch is in your lower back, you may be able to slip your hand under there. So that's going to be our first point of focus. So coming into our bridge, we first want to get as much contact with the mat as we can across the back. So before we talk about how to do that, I'd like you to check your feet and make sure that they're in line with your hips and knees. So we want the hips, the knees, and the ankles to all be in line. We don't want the knees to fall outward, and we also don't want the feet to be so far out that the knees are falling inward. So we want this nice balance. The arms are going to rest beside us, palms facing down onto the mat. And this is going to give us additional support and balance as we lift. So first here, to make that contact with the mat, thinking of the lower back. So what we'll do is engage the abdominal muscles, actually all of the core muscles. I don't just mean the tummy, but I mean all the way around and right through the middle. So this whole area is working together. So we'll engage those core muscles and think of pressing down from your navel towards the mat. And at the same time, we're going to just tilt the hips and pelvis. So we're just tipping this area here to press down. So as we've pressed that lower back against the mat now, we can begin to lift our hips and peel ourselves off of the mat one disc at a time until we end up in a nice long line from our shoulders to our knees. So now the weight is being held and we're supported on our feet, our arms, and the back of the shoulders. There shouldn't be any pressure on your neck. Now everything's engaged along the back side of the body right now. Everything's working together. When we lower back down, we need to maintain our safety of our joints and, of course, our lower back. And in order to do that, we need to keep those core muscles engaged. So in this case, let's focus on the abdominals because the back is already engaged. And we'll brace ourselves as we start to lower down. So we peeled our spines off of the mat. Now we'll return it in the reverse. So we'll place down one disc at a time until we get our back to the floor. And then once the hips reach, we can relax and let that lower back return to its natural arch. And again, we'll tilt the hips and pelvis, flatten the lower back. Inhale, lift, peel yourself up, coming into the bridge. And on the exhale, we'll lower back down. Keep the core muscles engaged, the legs are strong. Controlling that movement, helping to protect us. Don't drop it down, and keeping the knees over the feet. So we're not letting them fall out to the sides, and we're also not letting ourselves push forward over the feet, but rather we're staying stable and centered as we lower back down. So we're really controlling that movement. You'll certainly feel this through the glutes. Now let's go ahead and bring the feet a little closer if you're comfortable with that. Otherwise, stay where you are. But now that we've warmed it up a little, let's go ahead and walk the feet a little closer. We can get a little higher this way. So we'll remove the lower arch as we tilt the hips and pelvis, pressing down through the belly into the floor, and we'll peel ourselves up with the inhale. Have this nice long line from your knees to your shoulders. Now let's pause here and take advantage of this opportunity to notice our breath. Now we want to use abdominal breathing, and to make this very simple, since we're here and our bellies are right in front of our faces, we have an opportunity to watch our breath. So as you inhale, the belly should expand, kind of like a balloon. Of course, we're not putting air into the belly, but as the lungs fill properly, they stretch down because the diaphragm pulls down, and then that gives that optical illusion there. So let's inhale, expand. The belly should rise. On the exhale, it falls, sinks back in. So we'll inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale And exhale. This is just a perfect opportunity to take advantage of that breath. Now we'll take another big breath in so that we can lower down with the exhale again, one disc at a time. So basically placing gently back down as we control that movement. Release. And again, we'll flatten the lower back, tilt the hips and pelvis. Inhale, lift, peel yourself up. And on the exhale, take it down. Now this time, let's only go up about halfway and pause. So everything the same and halfway. Now that we're halfway up, I'll ask you to swing the hips. So we're going to twist the waist and the hips and swing in this arc. Okay, so we twist and twist. We're getting a nice gentle massage through the belly. Twist. The legs are moving minimally just because they're following with the hips and waist, but we're keeping those knees over the feet, so don't let them fall out to the side. We're not twisting the knees. Now we'll let that come back to the center and we'll return, or continue rather, all the way to the top as we lift. Now, don't think of just pressing and squeezing through the buttocks, through the glutes, but rather being lifted. You've got a big wide belt around your hips and we're being lifted up towards the ceiling. Really open the front side of the body. And we'll lower back down. Control it on the way down. And one more time, let's bring it all the way up. Now here, certainly hold the position if you'd like while you breathe. If you want to increase the back bend, you can take the hands under the hips and lower back and offer support to increase that back bend. We could also interlock the fingers, roll the shoulders under, press down through the arms to lift up. And of course, we can certainly just lift. And when you're ready, we'll start to lower back down. Control that movement. And we'll release. Now let's go ahead and give the legs a hug. We can either hold in front of the shins or behind the knees and thighs. Just give it a hug and stretch it out here. Feel free to bring the chin towards the knees, the forehead, whatever feels good. But really release through the lower back. Get a good stretch here through the hips. Let's let go of the left leg and we'll put the foot flat on the floor. Keep that knee bent for now. We'll hug the right knee in. Either hugging it towards the chest, or if you feel like you need to go further, take it outside of the rib cage beside the chest and stretch it down towards the floor. Just giving it a hug. If you want to take it another step further, we can lengthen the left leg and extend it onto the mat and really encourage a greater stretch. Make sure you're breathing. And let's bring the left leg back in. Give both legs a hug and we'll release the right. The foot goes flat on the floor. And we can hug that left leg towards the chest, or of course, if you want to go further, take it outside of the rib cage and hug it down. We can lengthen through the right leg, extend. And let's hug the right leg in again. Give both legs a big hug. Let's bring the chin towards the knees. Balance a bit here. And then we'll take the forehead to the knees and we'll utilize some core strength again. And I'll ask you to hold the position, really engage through the abdominal area as we reach beyond the feet, letting go with the arms, hold the ball, and we'll release. Let's come into a nice full body stretch. Stretch through the toes, through the heels. And then we'll find our way into relaxation and corpse. Just let your feet fall out to the sides and the arms rest beside you with the palms facing up. Adjust your shoulders, adjust your hips if you need to. Get comfortable. Close your eyes and just enjoy this opportunity to rest and breathe. We don't need to do anything crazy here, nothing fancy right now. Let's just enjoy the breath as we just weigh heavily against the mat. Just kind of let your troubles melt away here, if you will. If you find any areas that seem tense or tight, you can bring your breath, the attention of your breath to that area. And as you inhale, think of opening up, creating space, encouraging the blood flow, the energy flow, to release the tension in that area, to heal it. Enjoy your breath. You don't need to stay here long, at least for a few more breaths. And we'll do an entire session just on corpse relaxation. But for now, just enjoy. And let's begin to wake the body up by rolling the head side to side. Open the eyes gently. Wiggle the fingers and toes. We can come into another full body stretch. Through the toes, through the heels. And then we can roll ourselves over to one side. Use the hands to help yourself sit up. And just find your way back into a seated position. So I thank you for joining me, and I hope that you'll join me again soon. Be well.